So, Leila Neves, who is the focal point for the National Decade Committee in Cape Verde, and I think also part of the ECOS.
Correct.
Thank you. My name is Leila. I come from Cape Verde, and I'm the focal point for our Ocean Decade Committee. I am also integrated in the ECOP network. I'm here with my colleagues today. I also coordinate the SEEDS Africa within the ECOP network. And most of what I bring you today has already been shared here. A lot has been shared, but perhaps we have a chance to call for action right now. So let's move forward. Just for information sharing, we have the resolution A75.L39, who accepts the implementation plan of the Ocean Decade at the Assembly, the United Nations General Assembly, in the December 2020. And the IOC UNESCO is the body of the United Nations body responsible for supporting global ocean science and services. The Ocean Decade comes with three objectives: identify required knowledge for sustainable development, generate comprehensive knowledge and understanding of the ocean, and increase the use of ocean knowledge. We have 10 challenges as we went through them, and I hope you can read properly, but you have access online, and each one of them guide us to take action towards this, to tackle these challenges. So it's good we know them on detail and know how to direct our actions to respond to this challenge we are facing. Our 7 outcomes, they guide us when we work to know where we want to reach, what we want to reach, and that when preparing our proposals, we can select in which field we are working and which knowledge we need to bring in and which area of knowledge we will be working on, so we can direct what we aim to do. All stakeholders are welcome, but here we are very detailed, but I believe there are in the public, we can come with the sports activists, we have champions, we have people, normal people, as we are speaking now. We need to get those who are taking action from their own initiatives, not coming from big institutions or organizations, but those in the field who find way to bring solutions, to take entrepreneurship and implement. They are challenged already to not fit in the systems, and they still find solutions. So we need to work with them and bring them in and their knowledge. I will focus now on the National Decade Committees. Cape Verde has the first on the continent, among the 11 ones in the globe. We were, from the beginning, working on the revision of the implementation plan, so we got a lot of information. This brings us to the point that most of the groups pointed that there is a need to feel those who are in the field. They are already working towards it. So we had all the information to establish a committee and be approved. But are the countries in our continent aware of the information they need to gather in order to establish a committee? No, but that information can be accessed at the UN, the UNESCO site. So perhaps we need more communication, spreading these news and sharing these links and make it public, knowing that even a simple person who wants to work hard with the ocean and help can access this information. But are we bringing awareness of this information that are displayed in the site. So we need just to put it shortly structured. We need to establish the objectives of the committee. We need to see the challenges that the country is facing and find and nominate a national focal point to IOC to get in touch with the office in the UNESCO Bureau to be guided. So there are a lot of people and an office to help establish a committee. With the African roadmap, or should I say oceanscape? I prefer the word the oceanscape. So the African Union Commission has developed regional frameworks to support the development of the ocean economy. We have the African Union Agenda 2063, the Africa we want, the 2050 Africa's Integrated Maritime Strategy, and the Africa Blue Economy Strategy. These documents will guide us for the roadmap of Africa for Ocean Decade. So these strategic documents, they recognize that the blue economy shall be a major contributor to the continent's transformation and growth. It outlines action to foster increased wealth creation from Africa's ocean region, and it provides guidance to member states and regional institutions to develop an inclusive and sustainable blue economy. The African Union has also declared the 2015 to 2025 as the decade of African seas and oceans, and the 25th of July as the African Day of the Seas and the Ocean. These are dates that can challenge us to respond with action. We have the 9 priorities for decade actions, and the development and endorsement of decade actions with the high societal impact is critical for sustainable development in Africa. We have a sustainable ocean management, well, monitoring and collecting and sharing data are fundamental, and the capacity building and development, and the ecosystems economics, which is very dear to me, and it has a structure of implementation that Seychelles is already applying, and we can learn from them, which values and evaluate the value of protecting ecosystems. So, counts how much money you can do in 50 years by protecting what nature gave us. That's something that needs to be spread. The ocean and human health. So we have blue food and nutrition security as a major challenge for us in our continent, and the well-being, the benefits of walking on the shore or taking a swim on the human health, emotional health, and the benefits for the body itself. It must be studied and more promoted. The blue carbon potential of our continent, so the mangrove and seabed restoration needs, the capacity development to work with blue carbon potential, and the innovative financial mechanisms that this can bring in as they are not applied yet. Fisheries, the illegal, unreported, and unregulated. Well, we need to innovate on technology to monitor, and we need for sure to develop the capacity to assure the security, because if you have a big ship from a major north country fishing in our countries, it's not that we can go and prevent it. And even if you have pirates fishing in our waters, how can you go and prevent them from fishing? You cannot. They are probably armed and they are dangerous. So it's not good for fishermen to go and fight with them. We probably lose that. So we need to be trained on these areas too. The multi-hazard early warning systems, we've been losing too many lives to natural disaster, and most of them can be prevented by local knowledge, as we were talking a few hours ago with a colleague from Mozambique, who indigenous can identify when the storm is coming. If that can be taken into science field and make it spread that information quickly, that will help save lives. an ocean observing and forecasting system. Well, the global ocean observation system, this goes into it, and we need to develop the capacity to monitor and collect these data, and to collect these ocean observations, and long-term observations on key points, locations are needed. The digital twin of the ocean, who aims to have a digital source of information about what is the oceanscape at the global level. So some sites where we can go and upload information and sometimes get the information about the best practices and what is happening some point of the globe at this moment, at the current moment, if you want to. It's difficult to have it at a local level. It's difficult to have it at a regional level. Imagine at an international level. Everybody's gathering data, but they're not sharing it. Strengthening the capacity and the skills of ECOPs, the early career ocean professionals. That is obviously our major bet, and the way to win I don't want to say battle, but it is a battle against time and the actions the humans are taking to damage the environment. So it's difficult to take action to protect it. But training in leadership and professional development with the spirit of the youth, that will be a way for sure. And help the youth engage in international policy process and discussions. That's fundamental, because you have the flame, you have the will to change. They are not dominated by the system yet, so they can bring something new. And it's important for them to take part and see how difficult it is. So to understand that perhaps people who are working for so long into these institutions, they have many challenges. It's not that they don't want to do the change, but they will find some restrictions, and it's difficult to move forward. So here, speaking a bit more about ECOPS, it is a UN Decade in Earth program that seeks to elevate and strengthen the diverse perspectives of new generations of ocean professionals. It provides a platform and gives a collective voice to the young, to the youth. Actually, the ECOPs, they are not only youth. It's anyone who has less than 10 years working related to the ocean. So, to make it clear on that point. And ensure that knowledge is transferred between those experienced professionals who are in the fields to the early ones, to the ones who are arriving now, so the knowledge can keep on passing on. On a survey ECOPS did, we can see that those who responded, we have a leadership there from Kenya, Ghana, and Nigeria, and many other countries participating and engaging on the ECOP network. Most of ECOPs come from academic and scientific fields, which can directly relate to the Ocean Decade. And the governmental organizations, NGOs, they are leading there. But we have also the private sector and community-based organizations and many other who has interest on participating on this Ocean Decade. The areas that are identified that need more support are on capacity development, that we all see now in our exercise, with scholarships to better educate and on ocean-related areas, workshops, as this one we are having, that of course gives us the chance to interact and learn from each other, the startups, the projects, and the conferences. We step into our ninth priority, our ocean literacy. A lot have been said today, and but it's never enough to remind that it's a participatory research. So everybody is welcome to come in and start and bring the awareness of the need of their local community and universities and our network to take part on this research, to bring in a structure for the
curriculum and the ocean literacy to be implemented on the system, educational system. The communication and outreach is fundamental because as we see between us, we are working and many times even the information don't get to us who are into the network. Imagine those who are outside. And it's not because they are not making efforts to communicate it, but it is difficult to reach people sometimes and even the community. And those who are outside the system, they certainly get no information to them. So we need to learn and search better ways to bring the awareness and to bring the participation of many more. The local and indigenous knowledge, as we said before, is fundamental because we have many people who work directly with the ocean and they have the knowledge that the science doesn't have yet, and it's not registered. So we need, as speaking with Yara from Mozambique, she was telling us how fishermen can identify by the color of the water which kind of fish is in that day. So that knowledge needs to be monitored and registered and shared because if we lose one elder person with that kind of knowledge, we lose too much, and we cannot afford at this moment. To bridge communication, science and policy makers, well, that is a tough task, and everyone working on communication and all of us faced it many times because policymakers sometimes have too much to do. It's not that they don't want to help us, but if you bring it in a difficult way of acidification of the ocean, they will say, okay, let's set another meeting some other time and maybe we can talk about it. But if we learn how to make it easy for them to understand where to act, perhaps we can help them take the best decision or better informed decision. Here we go back to what is ocean literacy, and Francesca already gave us a very good explanation. But we have this challenge of understanding. Brazil last year brought to the conference in Lisbon a survey they applied to their country, and it is amazing how people say, my behavior, what do I have to do with the ocean? I can throw the garbage anytime I want. I don't have nothing to the ocean. I didn't throw it in the ocean. And they don't know how the cycle goes and how it will be there and how it will impact their lives. So we need to know how the ocean influences on us and our influence on the ocean. Most of the people don't know the percentage of the oxygen that the ocean produces. So they don't know, how will they protect? If they don't love, how will they protect? They will not. They are not in touch with that. So if we see the inclusion of ocean literacy in the curriculum should support the twin goals of teaching and learning more about the ocean and contributing to the co-design and co-delivery of the solutions to the problems and threats the ocean faces. We have the 7 principles that we already seen them, but that will guide us as we approach the moments of the calls for action. So take it as guidelines, all the challenges, the outcomes, the principles we have in ocean literacy. Whenever you want to prepare a response or a project, take these guidelines because many people have been working on them to guide the work toward solutions. So you may be innovative, you may be bringing something new, but take the work those have done before you so you can direct it and have much more chances of support, funding, and to actually do some positive impact. The Blue Curriculum is a toolkit for policymakers, but it actually can be used for to anyone because bringing ocean literacy in education and the policy formulation, yes, they have the big decision, but we can see, as I will show you one example, Cabo Verde example, where we took action before getting the Blue Curriculum into the educational system. We actually did some active work in schools, voluntary work, of course, but we did impact, and we are changing this mindset of these young people so they can grow up in an environment that shows them the possibilities of professions, ocean-related, and education, ocean-related also. So, enhancing ocean literacy in formal education and implementing ocean literacy into national curriculum framework, we are challenged to do so by 2025. And if we don't manage to get the policy makers to do it in our countries, maybe we can get the private sector to do it. Maybe, you see the example of Namibia, maybe we can start doing the change by legal and then aim to get into a larger scale. Here we have on 2021, when IOC UNESCO endorses project submitted to call for action number 1, Cape Verde did submit one educational project for ocean health and protection under the ID of, we got the ID 49. And also we integrate the consortium of the digital twin of the ocean led by the Ministry of Education in Germany. So there are big challenges, but we are facing them and we are taking action to implement. Is this one?
Yes.
You want me to test my voice?
Use.
Okay. Yep. Okay. We go from here. Our Ocean Decade Committee was established in 2021, as I told you, with among the 11 first ones in the globe. We are the first one in the continent. We are very, very happy for that. It is a private sector initiative, I must say, as the UN opened for private sector initiatives to help implement the decade. And it evolves very quickly to the public with the support of the Ministry of the Sea. The Ocean Literacy Project is endorsed in 2021, the Digital Twin of the Ocean Program in 2021, the ECOP node, oh, thank you, you're so kind. The ECOP node established in 2023, and the ECOP East Africa coordination, it's with us in Cape Verde under our leadership in 2023, who brings us another challenge, of course, and we are happy to announce that His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Cape Verde, José Maria Pereira Neves, becomes a member of the Ocean Decade Alliance and patron of the Ocean Decade, which brings us a chain of private sector, the government, the presidential level, and we have it connected there, and the science, of course, working towards the same goals and working together to promote the initiatives and the actions in our continent and around the globe. By having our president as a patron of the Ocean Decade, His Excellency was also nominated an African Union champion for natural and cultural patrimony and heritage in 2023. So we are working, to us, the ocean is home. The ocean is home to us, so we need to protect that. And we want to take our voice and help our network bring these goals and work together with those who are in this endeavor too. Here, I share with you a nice wall within our program, educational program, what we did. What can we do with no funding? We have to count on the initiative of individuals. So here we have a team of graffiti. We went to the schools, and what we did, we bring them images of the ocean. We bring them some messages to bring the awareness of the need to protect and to take action, and they are exposed to this wall every day when they come to school. So that's how we are passing on the challenges, messages, through painting. And they are kids and they love, and when they have a challenge at school to do a draw, they will do fish, boats, laboratories. This is one example, but we'll have many others and on the different challenges. And we've reached 7 schools in 3 islands since we started, and we want to grow. We something will find us on the way. Well, how to engage the decade? You can lead or participate in a decade action already established and endorsed. You can establish or join a voluntary stakeholder network which exists, and you have the stakeholder forum where you can just sign in and keep on following the task force groups that are working, which is the thing that is kin to you. You can engage. You can join Generation Ocean, and you can become a member of the Ocean Decade Alliance by invitation. It takes a lot of advocacy, but it's something that can be done. And it took 1 year, perhaps it can be done. So the Ocean Decade Alliance is a key mechanism for resource mobilization during the decade, and it will act as a matchmaker between resource providers and proponents of decade actions in line with the priorities of the decade. That's why I brought again all the challenges, all the outcomes, all the priorities, all the principles. So when we start designing a project, we need to take all that information in account and line it up so we can bring a proposal that are likely to be endorsed. We have here a list of the patrons, of the decade patrons, so you know that these are probably the ones who will support the projects and the call for actions. So they are the ones who have access to the high-level funding processes and within their countries or their partners, so they will mobilize the resources to support the projects endorsed. And the Ocean Decade has this side, and they are expecting our side to bring in the ideas, the projects, the structure, in order to make, to finance. You better take a picture of this also. We now get to a point that today it's valuable of work, and where our challenge actually brings us to the point of today. It's the call for decade action number 6, who is tailored for Africa and sits in Caribbean. So it is a new mechanism to facilitate the co-design of decade actions by teams from Africa, and we will have access to training. The other calls didn't, but this one has an access to training. So those who manifest their interest in applying and presenting some action or project for this call will be selected to receive training, to be educated on how to co-design projects for a few months. So it is a chance to get to know how to better link the partnerships and the stakeholders needed for a very strong proposal to be endorsed and financed. So it is a good chance to everyone to connect and get the information aligned and bring it, the idea. It doesn't have to be a full structure idea, but to bring the idea and get trained to fully connect it. I will also challenge you here today, as we are here. Zooms are good, but in presence, Zoom cannot match the interaction. An in-presence event can give us. And I will take this chance here to challenge you to let's get together, let's structure a proposal. As we are here, we have ECOPs, we have seats, we have many working in line with the blue schools, the blue curriculum, the ocean literacy. Let's get together. Let's draft a first document to apply for this call. For this is our chance, and we are here. Let's take this day, these hours left to work together and put these bullet points together and bring the first idea, the first draft, and then get the education, get the training, and get a very strong proposal here that we can come out from this moment and these events that is taking place here in Tanzania, and we can move forward together. We need to submit by 10 of December, so let's do that today and tomorrow, and let's kick off this wheel to take action. All documents mentioned and all the momentums, you will find a huge, vast amount of information on this site. Take time to navigate every time you find a chance. Go to it, register on the stakeholder forum. There is many community of practices you get in there. You get people who are doing the same work that you are doing, and that can exchange best practices and good chances, and you can have a very good interaction on what you're willing to do. I speak to you today as an ocean lover, first of all. I am a communication manager, and to us, I see in each one of you to take time to work towards protecting the ocean, each one with its contribution. To us, the ocean is home, and as they say, the one who works to protect home, it's worth 100 working for money. So we are here, we are together, and we will move forward. Let's sign for this call. Let's prepare something for this call number 6. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Leila, for this strong and passionate call to all of us, which actually made us, the team, think about changing the plans for tomorrow. So instead of doing the backcasting exercise, we will design this proposal for the call. So we can use the time together in presence to really let's roll our sleeves up, and we can work together. We are here to support you, and Ronaldo is here to support, so we can really put really in concrete the proposal for this call for decade actions.
Whoa.